I'm going to show you how to make a simple summer dessert. It's perfect for when raspberries and peaches are at their absolute best. I've got about 1 kilo in weight of beautiful ripe peaches. I took the stones out, cut them in half, and then into quarters or thirds depending on how big your peaches are. I'm going to add in my caster sugar. Into that I'm going to add about 15 grams of cornstarch, a teaspoon of vanilla bean paste. If you have a vanilla pod, you can just scrape the seeds and use that. I've melted some odourless coconut oil with just a dash of unsweetened plant milk, and I'm going to add that in now. Now with clean hands, or you could use a wooden spoon, but you really want to get all of the sugar and the vanilla and the cornstarch mixed in really well with the peaches. You can even give them a little bit of a kind of squash or a squeeze, and I'm just going to mix that together really well now. Just making sure that the peaches are all nicely coated with the sugar, the cornstarch and the vanilla. I've preheated the oven to 190 degrees Celsius, and I'm just going to put my peaches into my baking tin. I've got some cinnamon sticks, and I'm just going to tuck those in as well. If you don't like cinnamon, you don't have to put it in, but it is lovely with this. And then I've got some beautiful raspberries, and I'm just going to pop them on top like that. So that's my fruit, and I'm going to bake it for about 10 minutes. Whilst this is roasting in the oven, I'm going to get on with making a very simple topping. So to make the topping, it's very simple. I've got 00 flour here, that's slightly finer flour. And into that, I'm going to do the zest of an orange. You could do a lemon, that would be absolutely fine. I'm going to add in some soft light brown sugar, a teaspoon of baking powder, a small pinch of salt. With clean hands, I'm going to add in my odourless coconut oil, and I just made tablespoon amounts, put them on some baking paper, and then into the freezer for about 5 minutes just to sort of help it to firm up. And I'm just going to rub everything together and make things that look like breadcrumbs. It's going to take a good sort of 3 to 4 minutes, just carrying on like this, rubbing all the ingredients into each other. So I've got my rough breadcrumbs there, and now I'm going to add in a tablespoon of vanilla extract. In here I've got my unsweetened plant-based milk and a tablespoon of lemon juice. And I'm just going to add that in. What you want to do is mix it all together, but not over mix it. A little bit at a time. Just gently folding it in. What you'll end up with is a kind of sticky, lumpy, uneven batter, and that's exactly what you want. Just making sure there are no bits of dry flour. So it's been 10 minutes and the fruit is starting to release some of its juices. So now we're just going to add my topping. So now I'm just going to dollop my batter over the lovely fruit. You get about 8 to 10 dollops. It's not going to look like much, but it'll bake up beautifully, you'll see. And just sort of in an uneven way, covering most of the fruit. Finally, I've got some demerara sugar here, and I'm going to sprinkle each of my scoops of batter with a good bit of demerara, and that's going to bake up and be lovely and crunchy. And then I'm just going to bake the whole thing at 190 degrees Celsius for about 25 to 30 minutes until it's a lovely deep golden brown. This is completely delicious, eaten as is, or you could have it with some fresh vanilla custard. You can get the recipe on our channel, even with some plant-based yogurt. It's particularly good enjoyed on the day that you make it, but if you want to do it as a do-ahead recipe, that's fine. Just let it cool down, put it in the refrigerator, it'll set up, it'll be quite hard, and then if you put foil over the top, into a hot oven at about 180 degrees Celsius for about 20 minutes, and it will be as good as new, piping hot, spongy, delicious, and absolutely an enormous success. Thanks so much for tuning in, especially to our subscribers. I'll see you again next week for another episode. The cobbler's still warm, and I'm just going to serve a piece. Some of my vanilla custard. I'm just going to tuck right in. Lovely and crispy on top from that demerara sugar. Lovely and spongy and light, and that lovely crispy top and gorgeous fruit underneath. You're going to love it.